not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Chronic Gamer. My name is Matt, and this is my final thoughts and redirect video for Yu Yu Hakusho episodes 90 through 94. If you are watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. I said it in the other video, but this is actually going to be my first Patreon early access video. So the way that works is I'm going to release a series or a video for a series, and when you get it on YouTube, the following episodes of the ones on YouTube will be also released on Patreon, and you will get those 1 week later on YouTube at the normal rate that they come out on YouTube. This is not required. Everything that's going to be on Patreon will eventually make it to YouTube, so I'll have another video on that, an announcement video. But yeah, so go ahead and check that out. If you're watching this on Patreon, then welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube, then yeah, you should go ahead and check it out. But it's definitely not a requirement. Okay, so these episodes were freaking awesome. They beat the shit out of Sensui, all of them. They all got their licks in, even though Kuwabara, Hiei, and Kurama were no match. They all got their licks in, so it was great. We got to see, the aftermath of Yusuke's death and how it affected the remaining team, especially, it affected, I think it affected Kuwabara and Hiei more than anybody else. Kurama's always been more level-headed, but Kuwabara has been always emotional, and Hiei unexpectedly, to himself anyway, respects and likes Yusuke. So it was interesting to see him go all out and try to avenge Yusuke's death, because there's no doubt in my mind that's what he was doing. And Kurama even said that he's willing to die for somebody other than himself, which seriously says a lot for Hiei's character. Kuwabara, I do expect Kuwabara to die for Yusuke if he had to, because they have like a brotherly relationship now at this point, and it was probably heartbreaking for both of them to have to see Yusuke die. But they lost it, and they chased Sensui all the way to the demon world through the Kakai barrier. He cut it wide open, and they got a few licks in, but as expected, Sensui is still pretty overpowered compared to them. So I was definitely wondering how or if Yusuke would come back to life. When I saw him die at the end of the last reaction, I thought that he had planned it and that he would definitely knew he would come back to life, but it was clear that that wasn't his plan at all. And I thought, after reading the comments, that Yusuke might be dead for good, and I was pretty surprised by that, because I thought that he knew that he would be coming back, or at least had some sort of plan. But it seems like his only plan was to just try to rile up his teammates, and that's a good plan as any, really. And it just shows how selfless he is, willing to die in order to do what he has to do for the greater good. And I really liked it. But turns out, in probably the biggest plot twist of the series, he's a demon. At least he has demon DNA from some long-lost something ancestor. I forget the name of the demon now. I was saying it earlier, but it's been like an episode or two since they said the name, so I forgot it. Please remind me the name in the comments section. But yeah, so he comes back to life. Pooh transforms into this huge bird to reflect the fact that Yusuke is a demon now, which was awesome. I said that he looked like an evolved Pokemon. But they were able to bust back into the demon world with the help of Koenma and kick Sensui's ass, pretty much. It was probably the most spectacular fight of this series, even including the fight against Toguro. I still don't like Sensui, though. I said what I had to say in the reaction. I'll cover it again in a minute. But the fight was amazing. With Yusuke's newfound demon power, he was on par with S-class demons, or he is an S-class demon, I suppose you could say. And he went toe-to-toe with Sensui. It was awesome. And in the end, he beat him. But it seems like it was not him. He was like struggling with that at the end of this last episode we just saw, the Topside episode. He was struggling with the fact that he's got this other entity inside of him. And I'm curious to know if this is the demon from his ancestor, his ancestor demon, the one that gave him this demon DNA to begin with, or if it's just a demon version of himself that he's going to have to deal with, maybe overcome. I'm hoping it's the latter. I don't really want somebody else to be inside of him. I'm hoping that it's just like himself, only his demon self, and that he's going to have to work together or find a way to conquer that. We don't have very many episodes left, so I hope that he can, do it in this next arc. I'm assuming he can. I don't know. But, yeah. But back to Sensui's death. Turns out dude was dying all along. He had this illness. Reminded me a lot of Naruto characters. I know this came first, but it reminded me a lot of Naruto characters. There's several Naruto characters. I'm going to say there's probably, I can only think of two, but I'm sure there are more. There was Itachi, and there was Kimimaru. They both had illnesses, but fought until the end to accomplish whatever goals they wanted. Itachi doing what he had to for his brother, and Kimimaru doing what he had to for Orochimaru. I know there are other characters, but it reminded me of that. But he knew he was going to die, so he set up this whole plan to have basically a death that he wanted, a way to make himself feel better by being killed by an actual demon for all of the atrocities that he did to demons. But to me, that just is another thing that I don't like about him. He was very selfish. He was willing to go out and kill all humans for his own selfish desire of retribution to himself, like not caring about the good in people. He's constantly a contradiction. Like, he's saying there's good and bad in everyone, and that if you're good, you're just evil below the surface. Does that mean that if you're evil, you're good below the surface? Like, he talks about things in binary, but he lives his whole life in binary. He just flipped ones to zeros, It doesn't make sense to me. He's not likable, in my opinion. I know a lot of you like him, and maybe it has to do with that ending, his death, but I still don't like him. I think that he was selfish in the end, and there was nothing redeeming about him. I said, though, the only line that I liked that I guess is in Sensui's favor is that green-haired guy who said, "You raised a child to kill and then got mad at him as an adult when he did that, when he killed people." But to that I say, he was a spirit detective. His job was to kill malicious demons. We've seen many cases of demons that are good and they're left alone. Yusuke is not tasked to kill them if they're not doing anything bad. And I'm sure that he wasn't tasked to kill them. It was just his fucked up brain where he would kill all demons assuming they're bad. At least Yusuke has the foresight and the right mind to know when a demon is a good demon or a bad demon. It's not my fault or Yusuke's fault or anybody's fault if Sensui can't deal with that and understand that fact. We saw Rinku, we saw Shu, Kurama, Hiei. Those are all good. Maybe they started out as bad, but they redeemed themselves. They live by the choices that they make, and they chose to be good. And that's the underlying factor of all this. You are the choices you make. If you want to choose to be evil and make evil choices, then fine. If you want to choose to be good, then be good. There is no black and white, 1 or 0. That's not how it is. And the way he saw the world is in a skewed way, and I don't agree with it. And I don't agree with his decisions to off himself by having retribution by being killed by a demon. I don't agree with it. It's just selfish. It's bullshit. But he's dead now, and I never want to see him again. Unless I rewatch the series. But even then, I'm still going to fucking hate him. But we got a good wrap-up. I liked how we got to see the ends of all the characters that weren't in the, main characters of the series. They were just here for this arc. I don't know if we got that in any of the other arcs. I can't remember them doing that. And I really appreciated that, so I'm not left wondering. But yeah, these episodes were great, and I'm kind of sad that we're getting towards the end of this series. I think there's less than 10 episodes left. If I'm not mistaken, there's 112 episodes maybe, or 115 episodes. But we're, right at the end there. So we've got around 10 episodes left or less. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I think that I said a lot during the reaction video, so there's really not much more I can say. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Don't forget that I have a Discord, link in the description. Check out my Patreon. At least follow it for free, because that's where my polls will be from now on. I will also post links on YouTube. You don't have to subscribe. I understand people all have different situations, and that's why I assure you that everything that will be on Patreon will be on YouTube. You won't miss anything if you can't be a subscriber. But yeah, check that out, and until next time, I'm Chronic Gamer. Peace.